frozen between terror and fascination. The journal grows warmer in my hands, its pages now turning so fast they blur. Years of entries flash by, each one adding to a story I'm only beginning to understand. The shadows aren't just watching anymore, they're waiting. For what? I'm afraid to guess. But the most terrifying part? I'm starting to hear whispers, not from the shadows or the journal, but from my own thoughts. And they're telling me to keep reading. My reflection hasn't moved from the window, but now it's smiling. The expression doesn't reach its eyes, which have turned completely black. The shadows behind it seem to be pushing against the glass, making it bulge inward impossibly. The journal burns in my hands as new entries write themselves. 2018, we were wrong about everything. The 15-year cycle, the disappearances, the shadows, we misunderstood their purpose. I've spent months translating the oldest entries, dating back to 1733. The truth is worse than we imagined. The journal isn't cursed. It's a prison. The entities we see aren't trying to break in, they're trying to break out. Each reader isn't a victim, they're a newly appointed jailer. The shadows you see? Those are the edges of their prison wearing thin. Every 15 years, they nearly break through. That's why they need a new guardian, a new consciousness to strengthen the barriers. Look closely at the journal's binding. What you thought was leather, it's not. Those patterns you see? Look harder. Their faces, hundreds of them, pressed into the material. We're all in here, all the previous readers, our souls bound to these pages, keeping them contained. The disappearances weren't random. We were chosen. Something in our souls resonates with the frequency of their prison. We're the only ones who can keep them contained. But we're failing. The barriers are wearing thin. More of them are slipping through than ever before. Why do you think the world seems darker lately? Why do you think more people are afraid of the shadows? They're getting stronger, and we're running out of time. My phone screen flashes rapidly, cycling through hundreds of text messages, emails, and missed calls. Each one shows a different timestamp, some from days ago, some from moments yet to come. In one text, dated tomorrow, my mother writes, "The police found your car, but the security footage shows something impossible." The journal continues, the handwriting matching my own now. The choice was never whether to read or not to read. The choice is whether to accept the responsibility or let them through. Each previous guardian had to decide, become part of the barrier or let reality unravel. Do you feel it? The weight of all those souls in your hands? We're all here watching, waiting. Some of us have been holding this line for centuries. We're so tired. Look at your reflection again. Really look. Those black eyes? That's not their darkness seeping in. That's your soul recognizing its purpose. You've always been meant for this. Why do you think you were drawn to this building? To this attic? To this moment? The barriers are failing. We need fresh soul energy to reinforce them. But this time, something's different. This time, they're not just testing the walls of their prison. They're trying to break it completely. And you, dear reader, are the last line of defense. I tear my eyes away from the journal to look at my hands. My skin has become translucent, and beneath it, shadows move like blood through my veins. When I press my palm against the attic floor, it leaves a perfect imprint that slowly fills with swirling darkness. The faces in the shadows are clearer now. I recognize historical figures, missing persons from newspaper headlines, and previous tenants of this building. They're all here, their consciousness preserved in this eternal vigil. Their voices rise in a chorus in my mind. Now you understand. Now you see. But seeing isn't enough. You have to choose. The journal's pages turn to